So, is my screen visible? Just let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So, this is the presentation that I had prepared for you all. Feel free to take screenshots. I will also be sharing the PDF with you later on. So, you will have access to all the material that I'm sharing in the PowerPoint presentation. Now, as you all know, last year the syllabus by was changed by CBSE. So, they had made these objectives, for students so that, the course is more in support of the college curriculum so that when our students are studying AI, they have some idea about the kind of curriculum that they will be facing in college. And also it is as per the curriculum where we have, as per the curriculum which is used in colleges abroad also. So it is at par. So students will really have some good idea about AI once they graduate from class 12. Now, this is something that I have compiled for you teachers, who are doing AI for the first time. So there are these courses available. These are free courses. Okay. So you could do these courses so that you have an idea about AI when before you start taking your classes with students. It will give you a good foundation to start on. We'll start with introduction to AI. Now, this will become the base for class 12th also. So, be very careful while doing this chapter. So, and try to have all the students, be very thorough with all the concepts. So, these are the various concepts that you will be doing in this chapter. Okay, the different types of learning, they should be very thorough. Also, if you have certain students, new admissions, if you already having AI in class 9th and 10th, and you have certain new admissions coming in class 11th who have not done AI, so you will be having a mixed batch. So by the end of this chapter, all students should be at par, okay, on the same level. So try and incorporate that. Now, for this chapter, do not focus on coding at all. Just make them do some games. These are the practicals that I do in my class. So you have the teachable machine, then you have an art bot which uses supervised learning as well as it has a game on reinforcement learning. Shadow Art by Google is a wonderful game that students can play. And Quick Draw you already know about. There's also this website called itch.io/game/machine learning. It has so many games on machine learning that you can pick up any and then start playing, having your students start playing. So if you want to reinforce the concepts of machine learning, the three different types of learning, neural networks, all this, you will find some support of games, suitable game on this website. Okay, so this website I really like. Other than this, you have AI for Oceans also, though I do it with my class 5, 6 students. So, but nevertheless, if you want to start with a small game, you could start with AI for Oceans also. After that, you have Unit 2. Now, this unit has been included because RP Singh sir at CBSE wanted that students, have some idea about the various fields available in AI. Also, the kind of subjects that they should, pick in class 11th and 12th as per that field. So if you see the course content, it has an exhaustive amount of job fields as well as the list of subjects that students should study in their 11th and 12th. Other than this, at this particular time, you can have them enroll on IBM Skills Build. This is skillsbuild.org website. Have them enroll on this, and they can also do the AI Foundation course that I have asked you teachers also. They can do that course also. So the certificate they can then include in their practical file. Okay, and you have certain for this sub because they're doing jobs and subjects, so then you can have them, go to any website like this where you are mixing the various sounds, and then with the help of AI, then you can talk to them about the various skills and all this. You can also talk to them, about AI in their area of expertise or their interest. Like one of my students is interested in public health, so she is now studying AI, which she wants to use in the field of public health. So it could be that they are having a very different field of interest. So ask them to explore how AI is helping in that field. So this will tell them what kind of skills and subjects they need to have to pursue that particular area later on. Then we come to Python programming. You could do this at this point of time, or you could do it a little later before you do chapter 7. Chapter 7 is on machine learning. So before doing that, you must have, expose your students to some level of Python programming. These are the things that are given in this chapter. You could also, in the beginning, like some students do not have any background in programming. So you could jump the loops part and go directly to list tuples and dictionaries and have them use, very small programs. It is not important that they do the tough ones, the complex ones, like the computer science students. Just simple programs, that is more than enough. Okay, loops also very simple programs, and you could do with the for loop, because that I think is more than enough for tackling lists and tuples. Then when you have NumPy and Pandas, this is some topic which is again repeated in class 12. So they have to have a good background in these two, because they will be using NumPy and Pandas. Data frames they are using because they are taking a CSV file, converting it to data frames, studying the various data in the data frames. So all this they need to know. Also, this part, the Scikit-learn, where they are working with now proper machine learning algorithms. As I said, you could do this later on after you do Unit 7, because there they are properly learning about the different types of algorithms. So it's up to you. You could do it, a simple program, you could do it right now, or you could do this part later after you do Unit 7. Because when I have already taught the machine learning algorithm, only after that I teach them this part. So it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Class 11th is internal. So you could do as per your student's level. Go accordingly. Then, of course, we have the introduction to Capstone project. Now, at this point of time, students already have an idea about what exactly is Python, what are the various types of learning in Python, and a bit of Python programming. If you have exposed them to Scikit-learn, then you could talk to them about the Capstone project, or you could come back later on to this chapter. Here, you have to expose them to the various steps of design thinking. Empathy map, I'll just come to it right now. Also, have them think about a project or a problem to solve which is mapped to SDG. Okay, it's always better if it is mapped to an SDG goal. Okay, and they should know how to, decompose a problem. For example, it's a huge problem that they are going to solve, so it can't be done in one step. So how to put it down into simpler steps. Only this much right now. They are not going to do the entire project in class 11. It's a comprehensive project which they can start in class 11th and complete in class 12. Okay, so what they can do is they can think about the empathy map. Now, empathy map means what you are feeling when you're trying to solve that problem. For example, I'm trying to take admission in a certain course in a college or a school. So, what are my feelings going on? I might be feeling frustrated that I am not getting adequate information, or I might be excited about a new course. Okay, is the course quite expensive? Or do I have alternative courses which are cheaper in other colleges? So all those feelings about the user, that will go in an empathy map. Okay, do not worry if you are not able to understand it completely. While teaching, there are ample examples in the book, so you can follow the book and you can go through the examples also. The 5W and 1H helps you to come to a problem statement. When you creating your project, you have to create a problem statement. This is one of the Viva questions also that we ask, when you are taking Viva, external Viva for class 12, that what is the problem statement of your project. So this will help you devise your problem statement properly. So this talks about who are the people that you want to, solve the problem for. So if something I'm talking about um, diabetes. So I am trying to solve this problem of early diagnosis of this diabetes for the diabetic patients or people who might be having diabetes, but they do not know right now. So what is the kind of information or an action plan that I am going for? Then when am I going to do this? Is there a particular location or a place? and where will it be, and why am I doing this? Because I want to help those people. It's a timely diagnosis, and if it's timely, then of course they will have better chances of treatment. Okay, and how am I going to go about it? All these questions will help you formulate your problem statement. As I said, in this chapter, you have to talk about the various SDGs. You can touch upon it lightly because they already have done SDGs in class 9th and 10th. So you can touch about it lightly and talk to them about how exactly are they going to formulate the problem statement. Once the problem statement is clear in their mind, they can go about with their project. Okay, right now it is only the, you can say, the brainstorming stage. Okay, so they are thinking about the various ideas and brainstorming about it. Right now, it is not necessary that they do the coding. Coding part they can do in class 12 also. There are various options where students do not want to do the coding. So we do also have the no code, low code platforms, which I will tell you about it also. Okay, so this is just a small something that you need to keep in mind when you are talking to your students about the project. In class 12, we require the full working project. Okay, the examiner will see the project. I also make it a point when I go for externals, I do see the project. I need to see the complete working project. It could be a very small project. Doesn't matter. It does not have to be very lengthy or research based. It could be a very small project, but it needs to be working. Okay, full project documentation. The documentation sample is now given. If you're using my book, the documentation sample is given in the class 12 book. Then a 3-minute video, it has to be a minimum 3 minute, where you explain about the entire project. You give the screen recording of the project. Students explain what roles they played, any challenges, and introduction to the project and all that. This has to be short and then compiled. So this part does take time. And there has to be a practical file having Python programs as well as Orange data mining, which I will also touch on during this presentation. Okay, so what do? You choose a problem based on SDG. Okay, brainstorm using the design thinking process and ask them, they can think about the project documentation, at least the initial plan. There is a whole table where the entire timetable has to be mapped, how much time they are going to take on each step. So that, that stage will take time, because they have to map the various timings, how much time they are going to spend on, say, brainstorming, how much time they are going to spend on designing, testing. So all that has to be mapped. And there are two parts. One, the initial time estimate that you think that you might be required, and the actual time taken. So there are two parts to this plan. So you need to, students will take time to fill this. There's a lot of planning that is involved in this. Okay, then minutes of the meeting, each meeting that students have with you as the mentor, teacher mentor, or amongst themselves, the minutes of the meeting have to be added in the project documentation. Okay, and the problem statement. So till here, if they do in class 11th, it is more than enough. Okay, now what are the various projects that they can touch on? It is not necessary that they have a Python project only. They can go for no code, low code platforms. Okay. Now, if you go to MIT App Inventor, there is this whole website that they have on artificial intelligence. If you just go through it, they have with tutorials the various projects. It is beginners, advanced, intermediate level. So you can go through all the projects and students could start from there. And let me tell you, they could start from there and then they go on to do a better project. It's perfectly fine. So you can explore this one website for the projects. Number two, you could also, go for Python code. You have chatbots. Chatbots can be made using Google Dialogflow or Botsify also. That is perfectly fine. Okay, classification problems using breast cancer detection or hate speech detection, linear regression problems. All the data sets are available on kaggle.com. You could use these data sets, or you could have students create their own data sets, which again will take a lot of time. So you can explore the data sets available on kaggle.com, have the students use those data sets, and they are quite good. Some of them are completely cleaned data sets, because I had my students make on breast cancer detection, then Alzheimer's and diabetes detection, and they were quite clean data sets. Otherwise, you will be teaching using Python data cleaning steps in class 12. So they could use those steps to clean the data and then move ahead. Then this is something that is orange data mining tool, which comes in class 12. So if your students are not into, coding, or they do not want to use teachable machine or any other platform, you can have them use the orange data mining tool. It's a marvelous tool. And let me tell you, those students who are actually not interested in coding will love working on this part, because I've done this with my class and they were the ones who were not interested in programming. They love using this tool. So they have started exploring it on their own. You just need to find the various data sets on Kaggle. If you're using my book, then all the links to the data sets have been provided in the book. Even in the CBSE book, the links to the various data sets are provided. And you could do with them simple regression, that is linear regression, classification. Now, in classification, you have both classification using CSV file, or image classification is also there. Using the image data sets and doing a classification, it's a wonderful thing that they will do in orange data mining. And let me tell you, they'll fall in love with this too. So you will have a very good time teaching them. It is not necessary you do this in class 11. This is completely a class 12 chapter. I'm just telling you that this option is also available. So if your students are not able to look for any project or able to decide on any project in class 11, it's okay. It's absolutely fine. In class 12, they will do orange data mining. And let me tell you, most of them will pick up then orange data mining, because number one, maximum time is spent using, finding the right data set. Once they have the right data set, then you can go for doing the classification or the processing part in orange data mining. All the options are given. It's completely visual. So there is no programming involved in it. I will be taking a session on orange data mining also shortly. So you could attend that also. Then, if you're using my book, this page is there in the book, where it gives you all the sample capstone projects. Some of them have been done up by my own students. Some teachers in our group only have been very kind to send me, and I have included it in the book. You will also get this drive link, where you will be getting, the various capstone projects that my students have done. Now, of course, the logbook has changed, but you can access the old logbook and go through the project documentation at least. Okay, because certain parts are same. So you can at least go through that. You can go through the code that has been uploaded, and of course the YouTube links, the videos that students have prepared. So you can go through all this and you'll get an idea about what all to do in, in capstone projects. So this is the link. Okay, these are the old logbooks that are there. So all this there is there in the drive, and you will get the project logbooks also. As my students keep doing, I will keep adding in the drive, and you can access them also. Then we come to data literacy. This is a very practical chapter. So if you want, you can include it in the practical aspect also, the part of the examination. Okay, you have to do the various types of graphs available, like bar chart, scatter plot, pie chart. If you feel, certain times students say that there are too many charts available, we get tired. So at least do the scatter plot and the bar chart. Scatter plot they will be using in class 12 also. Even in orange data mining tool, we will be using the scatter plot. How to make a scatter plot and study the scatter plot, they should know. Okay, so do tell them about this. The Python code for all the types of graphs is available in the book. Also, how to use the matplotlib, that is also has been explained very well. So you can go through that. They should also know what is the mode, median, and mean, because these three values, while you are cleaning the data set, you use this quite often. So they should have an idea, especially the humanities students, because science students will know what exactly is these three value means. But the humanities students, they should at least have an idea what this means. Okay. So the various types of structured data, date, time, string, categorical, continuous data, they will study in this chapter. Then we come to leveraging linguistics. Now, this is a chapter which is quite light as well as quite informative also. Okay, so here they work on chatbots. You will study what exactly is a chatbot. What are the two parts of the chatbot? That is the front end and the back end. Okay, what exactly is an entity, intent, and dialogue? All these parts of the chatbot, the explanation is given very well in the book. So I will not be explaining that. Then what exactly is the classification problem? Because we have various nuances in our language. Certain thing like the bark of a tree and the bark of a dog. So that becomes very difficult for a machine to understand. For us human beings, we have been doing this since we were born. So we know without even thinking about it. But to explain that to a machine, so that is part of the classification problem, which students will study and understand. You can also, have them create various types of chatbots. For that, you have all these websites, Google Dialogflow, BotPress, Botsify. You can also have them play certain games. As I said, this is quite a light chapter. So have them play the Semantress game. Okay. VisuWords is also where a very beautiful visual dictionary is created. You just give one word and it will create a beautiful dictionary having all the, meanings of that particular word. So that children really like. You can also have them talk to Cookie Chatbot. The Cookie Chatbot has been winning the Turing test for the past so many years now. So it's a very good chatbot. Initially, when we had started working with Cookie, it had no idea about India. So we had shared quite a lot of jokes with Cookie at that time, I remember. So now, of course, it has quite a lot of idea because it keeps learning and gets better and better only. So this chatbot, children will love talking to and, expressing their ideas with it. Then we come to AI ethics. AI ethics would be you talk to them about the various issues and concerns around AI. Now, this is a part which, is very, very important because we always talk about biases in AI. You could talk to them about the various examples like, one of the AI developed by Google, how it had labeled the black-skinned people as gorillas, and it was quite an embarrassing situation for Google, and they had made a public apology. You could also talk to them about Microsoft's chatbot Tate, or Tay, probably it is called, where, on Twitter it kept learning so many derogatory remarks and it started making derogatory remarks on its own. And later it had to be taken down. So talk to them about all these incidents, how, this leads to embarrassment for the companies and how ethics and having unbiased software is very, very important. You could also play these games with them. You have the moral machine and the Kahoot game. In the Kahoot game, it is a very beautiful game where they are talking about the various scenarios. For example, a train has to pass through a bridge, and certain people on the bridge, it will hit the bridge, have to die. And you can save those people if you throw one person from the bridge. So whom will you choose? So it's a very difficult dilemma that students are exposed to, and one dilemma leads to another. So there are very beautiful set of questions which children will really enjoy if they play this game. Then you go to this moral machine where you have this car. A driverless car going on the road and the various scenarios that it may be encountering. For example, there is a pregnant woman on the road. So whom to save, the people in the car or the pregnant woman? There is an executive who's traveling and a beggar who's traveling. To whom to save out of those two? So this is something that students will be exposed to, and then they'll understand what all, problems or challenges that programmers of driverless cars are faced with. Then you have the survival of the best fit game. The link is given in the book also. Here, the students have to decide whom to choose as, whom to hire. So they'll become the employers, and based on certain criteria, then they will be hiring people. This is all in the game only as part of the game. So they'll understand what transparency is all about. Okay, so you can have them play all these games, and for the practical file, you can have them take these screenshots of all the games that they play, and it will become part of the practical file. So you'll have a good practical file by the end of the year. Okay, now in the end, I just want to tell you for the capstone project, what are the expectations that we are having in class 12? Keep these expectations in mind. Okay, so where you have to have the project documentation, you have to have the working project or the code, and the working project, the children will take time developing the project. So, center your project, your curriculum planning accordingly, because if you are able to finish the syllabus well in time, students will have time to make the project also. At least start working on it in class 11th. So accordingly, you'll have to plan your lessons and the 3-minute video of the project. This they can do in class 12. So there's no hurry in class 11. And of course, you have to have the practical file in class 12 where you have the Python programs and the Orange data mining screenshots also. Okay, so all these things will be there. Python programs you could do, since you're already doing NumPy and Pandas in class 11. You can have, some of them stored and then kept in the class 12, the practical file. So this will save you time. Okay, other than that, there is a very huge chapter on machine learning. As you have already gone through the curriculum, machine learning will talk about the various types of algorithms, that is regression, classification, okay, binary classification, multi-class classification, and the confusion matrix. So this they should be completely thorough with, because this will become the base in class 12. Even for the Viva questions, we always start with, what kind of project are you doing? So if a student says, I'm doing regression, then we start asking, what is regression? What are the two types of variables you have in regression? So this chapter will become the thorough the base for class 12. So be very, very thorough with this chapter. Then after that, you could go back to the, the Skykit library and have them create that in the Python programs. So have them create the various regression problems. A simple linear regression will do. If classification becomes too much for them, start with a simple linear regression and probably do the classification in class 12. Do not worry about the Python programming. If students are not inclined to do it, I have a full batch this year who are not inclined towards Python programming. Orange data mining tool is available in class 12, so they will really enjoy doing this tool. Okay. Other than that, if you feel you have any questions, then I'm open to questions right now.
Very good afternoon, Meenu ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Pinky Gupta this side, Meenu ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You managed to join. You were having problems joining, no?
Yes, I have joined, ma'am, and it is really a very wonderful and informative session for us. Ma'am, can you please tell us which chapters we should start with class 11, because it would be the first session for me to take in school, and
You
how we
start
have to.
with in unit 1, ma'am. That is your base. Start with unit 1. If you are not
Okay.
feeling inclined, as I said, by that time, you finish unit 1, you'll have an idea whether students are inclined towards programming or not. So what we did was, like last year, this syllabus came late. So we had
Okay,
already done unit 1. Have them play some games.
fine,
Okay,
fine.
so that
Because
they become interested towards the subject, and then go on to do the various chapters. So you could push back Python a little bit. Once you do that machine learning chapter, it's a huge chapter, machine learning. Okay,
mm-hmm.
once you finish that, then probably you could do Python coding, because they'll have an idea about the various algorithms, and then of course they'll pick up Python quickly also.
All right, because most of the students are not from the programming background. They
Yes,
do not even
yes,
know how to write the simple syntax of Python or any other kind
yeah.
of programming. So this would be the major issue with us.
Yes, yes, I know, because I also this year I have, students who are not interested in programming. So I started with Orange data mining tool. They have loved this tool. So I told them we'll do simple linear regression. So for that, you'll have to bear with me. So you could start accordingly also.
All right. So one more thing, ma'am, in class 10th also the students have to do the capstone project, or we can give them a little bit idea about this.
Ma'am, there is one capstone project which they begin in class 11th and they finish in class 12th. Okay,
All right.
so they could start in 11th. If they are not able to do in 11th, like I have few students, you'll always have few students, the backbenchers who refuse to, work till the last minute.
Mhm.
So it's okay. Let them at least explore the various data sets in Kaggle, and then they could do one project in class 12th.
Okay.
At least
All
in
right.
11th, have them explore. That is what
Fine.
I'm always saying. If they explore, then they start loving the subject. They, learn so many things also.
All right, thank you. And one more thing, ma'am, in class 12th, where I have gone through the entire syllabus, it was written then they should also have to do the internship program. So is it
Yes,
mandatory
class
for the
11th.
students?
Class 11th,
Um,
you have internship, and thank you for mentioning this. I had kept it in mind that I will talk about it during the session, but I completely forgot. You have internship or boot camps. There's a choice. So
okay,
CBSE has several boot camps. There are
right,
companies
right,
also which hold boot camps. So if you are able to get internship, because they are below 18, so lots of companies may not, allow them to enter their premises. I had this
exactly.
problem this year, last year, sorry, where I did not have companies willing to have these younger students enter their premises. So we had boot
Exactly.
camps instead. So there are companies which are holding boot camps. I will also be sharing those data, and on the group. So you can go through and then you can have them attend the boot camps.
Right, right. Because CBSE has just now released one circular where four boot camps are there for class ninth and 10th. And I
10th,
think
yeah,
similarly,
yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
similarly, I think they will also release for class 11th and 12th.
11th and
So
12th, yeah.
So all the boot camps will be okay with class 12th also, right, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah. So you could probably have, all of the students might not be able to attend in class 11. So you can have them attend in class 12. Also, there are certain teachers who always worry, certain projects, they are very good projects, the how to showcase your projects. You have the
Exactly.
CBSE Skill Expo. That is a wonderful platform where you can
Mm-hmm.
have your students go for the showcasing of their project. If it gets
Yes,
selected in the first round, then you go for the second round, then nationals also, and then they win
yes.
prizes.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, I
so
have.
it's a wonderful opportunity. You can have your students, take their projects for the CBSE Skill Expo. Various regions have their regionals at different times of the year. So just keep an eye out on the CBSE academic website. They release all the circulars there. So you can keep reading that website and then you'll come to know about the various regionals in your area at least.
Yeah, I have visited last year for the Skill Expo, and two students have shown their project. One is related to the breast cancer, and second one is the scanner, something like this. And I think that those projects were based on the AI only, maybe.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
you will also get exposure to the different, schools who are doing some very wonderful work. So it will be a good exposure for the students.
All right. One more thing, ma'am. You have shown us a number of links for the games. So I have explored one that is a create.kahoot.it, but it is a paid
No, no,
site.
that particular game is free. Kahoot
Okay.
is free for teachers. You will have to choose the free. I am an educator. It is free for
Okay.
teachers till 50 users. So if you have like
Okay.
40, 45 students in your class, you'll be able to use it.
All right. All right.
More than
Thank
50, then it has a capping at 50. So other than 50 students will not be able to join. You will still be able to play the game, but more than 50 students will not be able to join.
all right. All right. Thank you so much, Minu, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Welcome, ma'am. Most welcome. Any other question, please?
Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Preeti Vasudev this
Uh,
side.
Yes,
Ma'am,
Preeti, ma'am.
this is my first batch, basically 11th to in 11 class 7th, we have introduced as a sixth subject AI. So I have
Okay,
very limited students from commerce and the science background. So ma'am, when
okay.
we talk about the internship, जैसे आप बात कर रहे हो, तो we haven't done anything in class 11th. So
That's
is
okay.
it, is it
You can do a
compulsory to
boot
do?
camp. No, no, you can do a boot camp. There's an online boot camp. So you can have them join that. Or you could also have them do the IBM certifications also. So there's
Okay,
a choice, IBM certifications, the boot camp, internship, have them do the IBM certifications. You also do it as a teacher. In fact, I
yes,
would
ma'am.
tell all the teachers who have attended today, do those IBM certifications. It will help you grow only. Even in your career, it will help you, the
yeah.
certificate.
This is true,
So
Meenu ma'am, because I have attended one IBM, I have attended one workshop on IBM and on a certificate. And I also have attended the workshop on data literacy on Simply Learn. This is also the free website where
yes,
you can
yes,
earn a
yes,
certification. So
yes,
I
yes,
can we also apprise students about the Simply Learn and
yes, ma'am.
course.org?
Sure.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sure. See,
okay.
all these will help you only and your students only. As I
Mm,
said, if they are not very interested in programming, have them explore AI in their area of,
area, right.
interest. As I told you, this student of mine, and this I was exposed to when this student of mine, she's doing public health. And in public health, she's doing AI. And I asked her, I said, what's the need for you? She said, ma'am, AI is used extensively in public health. So why should
Mm,
I not learn AI if I have to go in public health only? So this opened my eyes, that there are also lots of options available with AI in different streams. So you can have them explore that also.
absolutely right, ma'am. Thank
Ma'am,
you.
one
Good
more
evening,
thing I
ma'am.
want to ask.
Yeah, Preeti ma'am, just finish your question. Then I have another teacher who wants to ask.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one more thing I want to ask. Like, I have commerce students, and they're not, like you said, they're not more interested in Python programming and all. So, can we do a project on Orange data mining tool also
Yes, ma'am.
in class
Yes,
12?
yes. Do not worry. I also have some students. They are not
Because,
interested in
like I
Python
have seen, I've
programming.
bought your book,
Yes.
and in classes there are so
Uh,
many projects available
just do
there.
one thing. I told them because 1 year, because I've been doing it for the very beginning. 1 year in MCQ Python code had come. So I told them we'll do very, very simple linear regression so that if the code comes, you are at least able to answer that MCQ.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, you have choice also in the exam paper. So I don't think students should have any problem. Okay. But
ठीक है.
yes, do tell them that a very simple linear regression we will still do.
Fine, fine. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you are able to cover all the bases. At least as a teacher, then they never say, ma'am, you never did this and it came in the exam.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
we as teachers have to think about that also.
Yeah, I
So,
agree, ma'am.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah,
Next question.
good evening, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
myself, Seema Kaushik. Ma'am, thank you, first of all, for such an informative session. My query is that the Python code that is given in the CBC handbook also, is any notebook, Jupyter notebook, or otherwise any drive, Google Drive, is the code available? Because that will save a lot of time on the students' part. We can focus on making them understand rather than typing everything. Is there any such
Ma'am,
notebook?
for the CBSE handbook, nothing is available. If you are using my book, then all the drive links have been given in my book. That I understood, as a
For
teacher,
the
I
notebook
understand.
also, for the Jupyter
Yeah,
Python code.
I use Google Colab, ma'am. So
Okay,
all the Google Colab code is available in my book. You can use that.
okay. And it's the same that is there in the handbook, entire
I cannot use the same, CBSE handbook. So, but topics are the same. So
topics are
it
the
could be that
same.
linear regression. They have used one data set. I have used another data set.
That's
Topics
perfectly
are the
fine.
same. Yeah,
Topics would be the
yeah,
same. The coding part
yes,
would be the same.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, my question is related to Python programming only. When students write Python programs in our school, we prefer IDLE platform. But
Okay.
while running the IDLE, a lot of problems related to libraries do come. It
Yes, yes,
requires time to time updation of them.
yes.
So, what is the alternative to that?
Ma'am, you could take a Jupyter notebook, or what I do is for 1 day, I ask the students to get their mobile phones. Okay, and they log in their Gmail account and log in Google Colab. So they create their Google Colab notebook, which is there in their drive then. Okay, so for 1 day, I ask them to get their notebook, their phone so that they can log in, have the settings, because then you don't have to keep giving the OTP every time. So they log in and give the setting that do not ask me on this system again, and then they use Google Colab every time.
So,
So,
in
or you could have Jupyter installed on each system, and then they work on the Jupyter notebook.
so if I have not used Google Colab, so there it will be like we can run programs
Yes, yes.
online.
Google Colab, it is an online Jupyter notebook, an online
Okay.
Jupyter notebook. It will be saved in their drive. So when they go home, they can access from home also. That is my only, this thing, that it becomes easier for students. Then they don't say my code was in school, I could not study.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
give
Yes.
them no option to give me any excuse.
Yes, ma'am.
That
Thank
is
you
a
so
great
much, ma'am.
suggestion, Vedant. That
Okay.
is a great suggestion because I was also wondering if we have to start using Google Collab, how do students manage to log in? But like you
For the
said
first
that
time, one day I asked them to get their phones. They deposit their phones with me. This is something now my coordinator and principal also know, that one day they will get their phones. They will keep their phones with me. Then during class they will access their phone and log in for the first time. Then I make them, for that one day I make them that you keep logging in and checking that you are able to log in without your phone. There is that option, do not ask me again on this device, when they log in using Google. So that they check, and then they create their Google Colab notebook. That is the exercise of one day. So after that, then they use their Google Colab.
right. Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, this is Gokila from Springdale School, Dubai.
Okay,
We
ma'am. You are joining in from Dubai?
graduated from this year
Oh,
only.
that's wonderful, ma'am.
Yes,
And thank you so much for
thank you,
joining
ma'am.
in.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, the WhatsApp group is very helpful for me, and then your textbook was very helpful for me, and all the details are there in your textbook, which is really, it's like I have to say thank you to you multiple
Thank you
times.
so much. That is so,
Okay.
so nice
And
of
then,
you.
ma'am, now I have a doubt. Till last year, I was taking computer science, and this year also I'm taking computer science along with this AI. But though
Okay.
computer, we have lot of codings in the question paper. So the same thing we can give for in AI, or what is that criteria? How much percentage of marks we can give it in the Python coding in the question paper, ma'am?
Ma'am, in class 11th, it is internal, so it is up to you. Go
Oh,
as per the level of your students. Okay.
okay.
Class 12, if you
Mm,
see, they have demarcated, mentioned it very nicely, categorically, that Python programming is in practical and Orange data mining is in practical. So
okay.
during the practical exam, then
Ma'am.
you could use these two options. If you see in my book on the last page, I've given a sample question paper also for the practical exam. There was
Okay.
this request for lots of teachers that, we have problems. What kind of questions do we give for the practical exam? So this time I had included that also.
Okay, ma'am.
So you could go through that question paper, and accordingly you could have the students prepared. So you could, for the practical exam, you could focus, it's a 10-minute, sorry, a 10 marks exam,
Ah,
and written exam. This is a written exam. They write the code also, because you're given a 20-page booklet by CBSE. Okay,
okay.
so Python code they can write accordingly, and Orange
Ah,
data mining then they can show to the examiner. And if you want, you can have them write I made them write the problem statement of their project also. Write
okay.
the problem state. You can have them write that, because you have a 20-page booklet, so you can use that. And
Okay.
so this is a 10 marks paper question, sorry, exam that you have during the class 12th external practical.
Okay. Okay, ma'am.
So you could
Other
do
than that,
that.
we are like familiar with this Jupyter Notebook, Google Colab. That's we don't have any problem. But then project, it is really
See,
hard.
it
I
is not
feel.
necessary that they do only Python, because when we had a
Okay.
meeting with Mr. RP Singh, he had
Ah,
specifically said that students
okay.
should be able to explore both options, coding as well as low code, no code. So that is why if you see in my book also, I have
Ah,
given Orange data mining. I am talking about MIT App Inventor. Okay,
okay.
so there are, and if you see this Botsify, BotPress, all these options are there for your students. So they can use any option that they feel is comfortable for them, as long as they are able to do the project themselves. I always tell my students, let it be a very small, simple project, but you will do it, not somebody outside in the market and you buy it.
Okay, ma'am.
Excuse me, Meenu ma'am, thank you this side. Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
would it be comfortable for you to conduct one hands-on experiment workshop with the students also? How they can make the project, from where should they start, and all other things? Would it be possible for you?
Ma'am, actually, I never do it for students, because then,
Okay.
on a online platform, students, as you already know, how they behave. So
Yes,
I
yes.
always say train the trainer, and
Right, right.
then, the trainer can handle things. So
So for
keep it as the
teachers,
last option. So teacher, I'm already taking, okay,
okay,
and I'm available on the group also. Other than that, if you need any, workshop, exclusive workshop for your school, then you'll have to contact my publishers. If
all
you're
right.
using my book, of course. So you can contact them.
We are using, ma'am. We are using for 9th, 10th, and 11th. It is a wonderful book, ma'am. It's a
Thank you,
wonderful.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank
All this,
you. Yeah.
feedback really helps me to work well. So thank you so much for the lovely feedback.
No, ma'am,
Thank you.
actually, your books have come really, really blessing for us because as a new teacher, I mean, first time we are teaching and everything is so clearly mentioned in the books. It's really appreciated.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, two
Any other
points.
question? Yes,
Yeah.
Ritika, ma'am.
Ma'am, first thing I wanted to know that do we have any web resource material for the ones who are having your Orange Publications book in this school
Yes, ma'am.
for teachers?
Everything is mentioned in the book. You have the QR code, all the, videos, and even the code that has been given. I have given the link also.
All right. And secondly, can you conduct one session on how to create a chatbot using Google Dialogflow? Because at times, it becomes tricky. There are tutorials, but it does become tricky to understand intent and all those things. And this chapter
Okay.
is very much there in grade 11.
Okay, okay. So give me some time. I have a few sessions lined up. Friday is my session with my publications for class 12 teachers. Then next week, I'm taking a session on Orange data mining tool. So after that, let me see. I'll take out time and I'll plan one accordingly also.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think so. Nobody is going to take up the chapter that earlier. But yes, once during this session, if we can have a session on this Google Dialogflow.
Okay, okay. Let me try. Let me try.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any other question?
One more query, ma'am.
Yes, Seema ma'am.
The changes, CBSE changes that have come up, that will be effective for the next 12th, 26 that they will be appearing, 25,
No, no,
26.
this year. 2025, 26. Next
Yeah,
year when
25,
they give
26,
the,
25,
yeah, yeah. If
26.
you're talking it
Hmm.
in those terms, yes. Next year when
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
giving the board exam, they're giving as per new syllabus.
as per new syllabus. So over there also Python would be coming in the theory exam or not?
No, no, no. In the syllabus, they have mentioned that Python is in the practical
Practical.
and Orange data mining is in the practical. But as I told you, 1 year it came, one code came in the MCQ part. So it only taught me to be a better teacher. So I told my students that we will do very simple linear regression. You should have that code in mind. So if it comes as an MCQ, at least you are able to attempt that MCQ.
Okay. And the major changes you will be covering in the upcoming session for class 12? What are the major changes from the previous
Yes,
years?
Friday we have the session, ma'am.
Yeah,
So if you're
18th.
teaching
Hmm.
class 12 also, then you could join in.
Yeah, I'll surely join in, though I'm not taking 12th, but that will be informative. Okay, thank you so much.
That
Welcome.
means possibly. That means possibly for grade 12, at least not half yearlies and the pre-board examination, but for the this thing unit test and all these kind of revision tests, we can include some of the Python programming questions in those pen and paper tests.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
for the
You
grade.
can. You can.
Right, right, right.
You can. At least have them, do very simple programs and ask them to do the simple programs. I
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
shouting at
So
my
they
students,
can
I said,
map.
why are you so scared of Python? It's
Mhm.
one of the, simplest languages that they have not done C++. Remember those days of C++ that we used to teach,
That
how pain it was.
it
Painful it was. So at Python is a walk in the park sometimes for me, I feel.
absolutely.
So at least have them, to have some writing practice.
Hmm.
And 12, then at least I have give them the choice to explore and then they can come up with their projects.
Correct, correct, correct.
Class 12 book, if you are following of mine teachers, go through the Orange data mining. I had found some beautiful data sets and I have given in the book also. So you will not have problems looking for the data sets.
मैम कैन वी यूज आपकी बुक में जो ऑरेंज डेटा माइनिंग टूल के डेटा सेट्स दिए हुए इन द लास्ट ऑफ द पेजेस प्रोजेक्ट्स वी कैन यूज दोस
Yes, ma'am, please करिए जरूर करिए
मतलब वी कैन
आपके लिए
क्रिएट
ही
द
है मैम
प्रोजेक्ट वी कैन आस्क
Yes,
द
ma'am,
स्टूडेंट टू
sure,
क्रिएट द प्रोजेक्ट
sure.
बेसिस ऑन दैट
I'll be very, very, thankful if you do that and
नहीं नहीं मैम
obliged
वी आर
also.
थैंकफुल टू यू एक्चुअली फॉर
So
गाइडिंग अस
please go ahead, do so. और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगेगा अगर आप करोगे तो.
For
थैंक यू मैम
students, so Python is really a Python for them, you know. When we
I
say
don't
that, it's
know why
quite
they have got this, mental block. It's like we are facing that
actually,
mental block against maths all over again. So my
actually.
students, they are so adamant. They did not do the project in class 11, and they now, I have this entire set of students, 7, 8 students who just not do anything in class 11. Now I have to do with them the project in class 12. So I put my foot down. I said, fine. I will not force you to do Python, but one simple linear regression you will do with me, number one. Number two, you will create your own project, no outside projects.
But you know,
One of my
ma'am,
students
actually,
went out to do, a project on IoT also. So if your student is exploring, be very, very, this thing that let them explore and let them take up that project also. So
you
it's
know,
okay.
ma'am,
Good.
most of the students have opted AI just because of this thing that there is a 50-50 weightage, with 50 for
Yes.
theory and 50 for programming. This is the major issue with them because some of the students have come from the humanities section only, and they do not have any idea or are very good in mathematics. So this creates a problem for teachers.
You could try out some scratch games also. I'm taking design
Yes.
thinking, ma'am. So I am taking scratch. We have to create a capstone project in design thinking also. So my
Mhm.
your humanities students loved working with scratch. I have not incorporated the AI component right now. Just simple scratch I'm doing. So they love doing that. But of course, scratch is a little low level. It should
Yes,
be a
yes.
high level project in class 12th.
Right, right. All
You
right,
could
all
at
right.
least start with that. I'm just saying you could start with that and then take on. But again, there's a time constraint that we all class 12 teachers work with. So it's up to
Right,
you.
right. Absolutely.
Hi, Minu.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, my question is from no code or low code project. So I found one tool which is Data Robot. So it is only 15 days trial is free, and it will not take much time. It will be taking 1 or 2 days for the student to explore all the things, but are all the algorithms are available. So I found their classification and regressions. But if suppose student is going to opt for this tool, so do they need to they have a screen recording of the whole coding and the rest of the
Yes,
thing
ma'am.
part?
Screen recording is a must because the examiner will come and she would like to see the project. So screen recording should be there of the project.
Or they can do one thing, they can have one separate email ID so that they can join before 10 days, so they will be getting 15 days trial, so they can do it back in on the over the second email ID over the same platform.
That it's up to you. Just see what amount is required for purchasing. Because I remember in 1 year, my students created a chatbot, and for getting the paid version, it was something like 350, 500 rupees only. 350, I think. So they paid that 350 for the exam duration. For 1 month, it was 350, I think. So they
Okay,
paid
ma'am,
that much money. So it's up to you. You can see that.
yeah, sometimes, but the parents are feeling insecure while they will be
Yeah,
putting the
yeah,
details on
yeah.
such platforms, na? So
So
that will be an
you
issue.
could use that orange data mining, ma'am. Then why go for something, which might create problems later on?
Yeah,
Things may not
exactly.
work. It
I
is the
told
first time you are taking.
Yes, yes. I told them, but they said, ma'am, there are a number of visualizations. We are liking the way they are representing the problem. Even they can find they have the features like feature selection, they have the data cleaning option, and number of tools are there over there. So that is why they
Okay.
have started.
Which platform is this?
This is ma'am data robot.
Data robot. Okay. I will also explore this. Let me also explore this.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll share with you.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yes,
One
ma'am.
more
Any other
question, ma'am.
questions?
One
Yes,
more
yes.
question, ma'am. For the 11th practical file, as you mentioned, that we can have screenshots of the games in the practical file, some interest or whatever they are
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
according to the topic. So for
yeah.
every unit, we have to provide practical file component like AI ethics or unlocking.
Ma'am, see, it is available. So it will be a good thing if you have students compile this. They'll be able to show it also later on that this is all the work they have done. Regarding printouts, class 11th, I never ask my students to take printouts. They submit the, PDF version of the practical file.
Okay.
So this is my way of, saving some paper also.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's
okay.
up to
That's
you.
good.
That's
Yeah.
it's up to you. It is not necessary to
And some
get
Python programs
yeah,
and
yeah.
Python programs.
Yeah, so
And for
it will
12th
give a good
also,
compilation. 12th, they have to have the Python programs, the orange data mining.
Okay.
part, and there is one chatbot they will be creating using the Gemini tool. So that will be there. Then neural network they'll be creating using Python programming, that will be there. So there are good 10, a minimum 10 programs that they need to have, 10 things that they need to have, because orange data mining screenshots will also be there.
Is the list mentioned somewhere in your book?
Yeah, it is
For
there
12th
in the CBSE website also,
CBSE?
and
Okay.
it is there on my in my book also.
Class 12th. Okay. Thank you so much.
Any other question? So if there are no other questions, then we'll close this session. Thank you so much for joining in. I know it was a holiday, but you still took out time and joined in. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
It was
you.
a very
Thank you.
informative session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.